Good day. This is a vlog of our trip to St Lucia in December of 2024. You're probably asking, why are you uploading a video from 2024 in September of 2025? Well, I contemplated putting it up for a long time because there's pretty much little content to upload, or there was pretty much little content to upload. But later on, I figured perhaps if I put it up, someone could see it and might be inspired to travel to this beautiful gem of a place in KwaZulu-Natal. So we traveled from Johannesburg, and the trip took us about, say, 6.5 to 7 hours because firstly we had kids and secondly it was also raining, but we also had a few potholes closer to St Lucia. We drove through Mpumalanga. Mpumalanga and KwaZulu-Natal are some of my favorite provinces in South Africa. It was quite a scenic drive as well. So here we are entering St Lucia. The climate here is subtropical, and seeing as we also traveled in December, the weather was rather hot and humid. It was raining for the first 2 days there, so that helped to cool us down a bit. So it took us around 5 minutes from entering St. Lucia to getting to the lodge where we were staying at, called Lodge Afrique. The lodge felt like it had a Mauritian ambiance, but with a bit of a South African touch. That was a really lovely experience. We usually opt for self-catering options, partly because of dietary preferences. So it was really lovely that we could have good and nutritious food. The food was simple, but so nutritious, or rather not simple, but it wasn't a plethora of options, but the options that we had were good. And these little fruit arrangements that they made were always something the kids were looking forward to. St. Lucia is named after the St. Lucia Lake estuary, and an estuary is pretty much a body of water where the river water and the sea water meet, in this case the Indian Ocean. St. Lucia, the lake and the surrounding wetland are part of the greater iSimangaliso wetland, which is a UNESCO heritage site, and the estuary is the largest in Africa. Here we're driving through the wetland to get to Cape Vidal, which is a sheltered bay and has very beautiful beaches. St. Lucia itself has beaches that are 5 minutes or so close to where we were staying, but they're usually crowded and people don't follow the rules. So we were glad that our host suggested this beach. The kids got to play on the beach, build sand castles and all sorts of stuff, and they actually got to get in a little swim as well, so that was really appreciated. It was rather cloudy, but still the Indian Ocean, so it was fairly warm. We also did snorkeling on the same beach, but I don't have any footage because we were not allowed to bring any equipment with. In the evening of the same day, we went on a safari tour into the wetland, and it was so informative. It was interesting for the girls. I wasn't sure whether they'd actually be able to take the whole trip because I think it was an hour, over an hour long actually. But they enjoyed it. They learned quite a lot from it. The wildlife we got to see here were hippos, buffaloes, some zebra, other buck. The entire ecosystem was rather interesting compared to all the other like national parks that we've been to because of the estuary. The next day we went on a hippo and croc cruise. Apart from all of this, they offer whale and dolphin watches in the sea. They offer horse riding safaris. They offer night safaris. We didn't take part in all of those because some of them don't allow children our children's age. So yeah, I think these were all the activities that we did. And then we also went to walk around the town. They also have like a market in there, and they were selling all sorts of stuff. It was very busy on the weekend. We enjoyed that. And not to forget, really, really good food. See the list on top.